Folks, it's time to kick it old school. Yeah.
Welcome in. Another great night. The HerbnRodg Podcast. My heart has finally started back again after this week that was. I know you're already. Where's Rodg? My phone's probably about to blow up. Look, he's got a couple fatherly things to handle. He'll be here in a minute. But let's say hello to everybody real quick, and then we'll get to it. What's up, AB? How are you doing, sir? Roll Tide. Carol. Yep. Randy had a great show tonight, as always. Good to see him. Big Mike, the man behind the scene. Roll Tide to you, sir. Hope you're having a good night. Kat, what is up? One half of the Alpha Pools. I think the other one is probably floating around here. And what's up, Zach? Thank you for the National O-Build. And see, as we call it. What's up, Lady Alpha? And Randy. We're just talking good about Randy. So how are you? Nick, it could never be just the Herb Show because nobody would watch that. So we will bring in the guests first, and then Rodg will join us. So for everybody that's listening, this guest has been contacted by The Beard magazine. He's going to be on the cover. He's just waiting until they meet his NIL money. That 2-point conversion that tied it up against South Carolina. This is the person that actually called that play. So kudos to him. And after this 5-game stretch, everybody got to take a day off. The players were all asked what they wanted to do. 98% of them said, just hang out with Clint for the day. Last two are Ryan Williams and Bach. They wanted to go on and do a stream live for 24 hours, something like that. But everybody else, hang out with this man, Clint. Clint, sir, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. That was a fantastic intro. And I will say I'm the first ever ginger beard to ever be on the cover. So this is like this is a monumental moment for gingers everywhere. So I appreciate the introduction, brother.
Yes. Well, finally we get a little diversity out there, right? So it was much needed. And I think, the actual stars has just jumped in. So, given how this season started, did you envision this last little 5? Oh, what's up, Rodg?
Oh, hey, what's going on?
Everybody's been blowing us up asking where you were. They almost canceled.
That means nobody asked. That means literally nobody asked. I apologize for my tardiness. Clint, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I understand fatherly duties sometimes. I get it.
Yes, and then everybody here pretty much has a cold or something going on. So, but anyway, we're here. What's going on? What did I miss?
And thank you, Nick, for that. First question coming up, Rodg. Given how the season started, especially, but did you envision this last little 5-game stretch going the way that it did?
No. I mean, if you'd have told me that all of these games would have been tight, I would have said that they probably dropped one somewhere, just because of the level of talent, the fact that all 5 of them were capable of beating you if you didn't bring your A game. And I think that's why in some of these games they were even, in the conversation. Like, I think South Carolina is a better football team than a record would indicate, but I also don't think that they really should have been in the position they were to beat Alabama. But Alabama had an off day. So, I mean, it definitely hadn't really played out how I thought it was going to. But at the same time, I'll give this team a lot of credit, guys, because, I mean, the fact that they had to step up against South Carolina and kind of win a little bit differently than they had won up to this point. I mean, the fact that you had dominated time of possession and been able to control the tempo or the pacing of the game, and, you were winning as far as Ty Simpson in the passing game, you could always turn and rely on that. And then in this game, Ty's a little bit off. The wide receivers are dropping passes. You're not dominating time of possession. In fact, prior to the last 10 minutes of the game, you were getting dominated in time of possession, and yet you still figured out a way to hang on to the football for almost 9 of the last 10 minutes of the game and score multiple times in order to get a victory. I mean, that's a big time, way to close a football game for Alabama. So out of all the stuff that they did against those 4 straight top 20 opponents, all of that was impressive. What they did on Saturday, in my opinion, was also championship caliber football, because sometimes you got to win that way. And Alabama found out a way to get it done.
Yeah. I feel like we got punched in the mouth in that South Carolina game, and we're used to playing on the road and getting punched in the mouth and not being able to fight our way back. But for some reason, something magical happened this past weekend against South Carolina, and we fought our way back. So again, to Clint's point, just give kudos to the team, because that's another element of this whole team that we weren't really sure if we had reached that atmosphere yet, but we kind of did. And we're like, okay, so Black Hoodie DeBoer, Darth DeBoer, whatever you want to call him, is the real deal. It's the real deal.
Yeah. No, I think that's an excellent point on it, Rodg. And Quentin, you can expound on it. But yeah, I think we hadn't seen, we've been front runners for a while, and we really just have not seen. It's been a while. I can't think of, last year, did it ever happen where we're behind and we had to kind of claw our way back into a game? So that was kind of impressive to see. And also going along with that, I know South Carolina was better than what they think, but than what the record said and what this spread said. But how much do you think those first 4 games played into the performance in that 5th game and the end of the gauntlet? And even the bye week, to be honest.
That's what I had a hard time with, because as the game's going on, all I could think about was it's par for the course, right? Against Florida State, not a great football team. Now, granted, we all knew they were going to be improved from 2-10, but I was expecting them to be like a 6 or 7 win football team. And so, you go on the road, it's a hostile environment, you struggle. All the things they did last year against Oklahoma, against Tennessee, against, a bunch of teams, really Tennessee doesn't count in that, I don't guess. But as far as being away from Bryant-Denny Stadium and having the struggles, all I could think about during the game was, it's par for the course. It's just the same old song and dance. You'll get up for these top 20 opponents, these really tough matchups on paper, not a huge spread. But yet when it comes to a team that is clearly inferior to you, you get out there and you struggle. And then after they, first of all, managed to come back and win, maybe getting away from the emotion of it, you start thinking about it, and it's like, man, I probably should have give the fact that they played 4 top 20 opponents in a row, and it was very fit. All of them were physical. All of them were battles, wars, whatever you want to call it. And I mean, it's tough to get up each and every week. And from a play calling perspective, I don't think we realize just when you got to come up with your best stuff each and every week, and you're kind of pulling from the clip that you got kind of stored away. You kind of, I'm not saying that Ryan Grubb's run out of things to call on offense. I guarantee there's a lot left in the tank.
Oh yeah.
But it's just, you start pulling from some of that stuff, and it makes things more and more difficult each and every week. And so, I should have definitely, not only prior to the game, but during the game, given that a little bit more credit for what we were actually seeing. But at the same time, I mean, when you hindsight it, it's pretty easy to see that no other team in college football had to go through a gauntlet like that. And South Carolina is a talented, I mean, when you talk about the hostile environment, the pass rush, the quarterback who can be Superman, who is, he can create on his own, whether it be through the air or with his legs, mostly, with his legs. But having that type of player, and just the fact that Alabama was, had been getting up for so many weeks in a row, it was definitely a combination for a struggle. And so that's exactly what we saw. But once again, when it really mattered, Alabama figured out a way to get it done. And just those, I mean, anybody that goes on a championship run, you've got to dig deep. And, the fact they were able to do that, I think speaks volumes.
And Kat threw this in, and I think that goes along with emotionally also. This was like the only game in that stretch that didn't really seem to have something else to it, I guess, except for the last year. But you mentioned a lot of it. I mean, we had a couple of guys who thought South Carolina, could make the SEC championship game. And so this was no slouch, but there was way more going with Georgia, going with Vandy, going with Tennessee than this South Carolina. And go ahead, Rodg. I'm sorry. Did you have a comment or question you wanted to throw in there?
I did have a question. You mentioned Ryan Grubb kind of emptying out the clip. This past weekend against South Carolina, we saw Ty kind of aim for the vertical, the deep ball, like 3 or 4 times, maybe a little more than that. And it was something we hadn't really seen too much in the previous games. I know we did in the Georgia game. Williams had a drop ball there. But seeing how many times he did it this past weekend, is this something that you kind of see expecting going forward as for starting with the LSU game? I just found it like, because it kind of seems like the reason I'm asking, because it kind of seems like we strayed away from our normal game plan as far as just moving the chains and moving the ball down the field. And then we kept on going for the deep pass and it wasn't clicking. But I mean, I like the fact we're doing it. I hope it works. But do you think it's going to see something that we're going to see more out of in the future?
Yeah, I think it's just the way that they've stacked performances as far as the short to intermediate passing game. You want to rely or turn to a complementary run game to, kind of keep the defenses honest, make sure they're doing what they need to do to where you can keep the play action strong. You can, try to take attention away from the short to intermediate passing game. And I think, they've done that effectively in some games, Missouri, Vanderbilt. I think Georgia really did respect Alabama's run game, despite the fact that they didn't have a whole lot of success. I think the reason they didn't have a whole lot of success was because Georgia respected it so much. But, in this particular game, I think they knew that South Carolina was going to present some opportunities downfield. And, as far as not really having to respect Alabama's run game and, putting all the emphasis or effort towards the short to intermediate passing game, if you could get behind them, hit some vertical shots, it's going to open up your run game. It's going to open up some other opportunities. And so they were really trying to get that going. And I don't think it was just South Carolina specific. I think they were wanting to put that on tape where, opposing defenses moving forward would see that and say, man, we really didn't need to respect the vertical passing game because that's also an element of this offense. And we got to remember, in my opinion, I mean, when you look at what they've done prior to Saturday, that was kind of not like Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer. In their offense, the vertical passing game has always been a major staple. So it's kind of more so been an outlier this year that they haven't utilized that more. I couldn't really tell you why that is. I mean, I know Ty's got the arm strength. I know that they got guys who can separate downfield. So it's been a little bit strange. I guess when you actually see it play out the way that it did, the timing is off for one reason or another. Right. It probably has been off in practice. But, I mean, I'd heard back in the fall camp and even some during the spring that there was a vertical element to this passing game. So it's been kind of strange that you haven't seen it come to fruition on the field. Yeah. But at the same time, I fully expect them to continue to try to make that happen because they got the ability to get it done. Just probably need to continue to get a little bit better as far as the timing.
Yeah. It almost feels like I can remember exactly one shot per game, and what happened in it. It's like this one was the Jeremy Bernard, the defender made a great play right at the end. And then, that's all you're really getting per game, against Georgia. It's one Ryan Williams and drop, and then that's it. Not to bring up his drop, but just, it almost just feels like we're only kind of getting one a game. Did want to say, Randy, thank you. We appreciate this comment for sure.
Appreciate you, Randy.
It's something we needed to see from this team. And so I was happy to have this stretch, and I think they're happy for the bye week. And you have a specific question from somebody who said we're throwing being professional out the window.
Guys, I got to be honest. I already took a picture of that comment. I haven't sent it yet, but I'm going to be sending it to my brother and my sister-in-law, my wife, because when my brother was on his honeymoon with his wife, I don't even know when that was, back earlier this year, February maybe, I don't know. Everybody at the resort that worked there and stuff kept calling my brother Luke Combs, and my sister-in-law has not seen it at all. And I was like, man, someone a long time ago, they said I look like Luke Combs on one of these things. And so when I saw that, I was like, there's no way he just commented that. So that's already in the pipeline. I'm going to be sending that to the family chat. Nice. And so that's pretty funny. It's nice that, I mean, if y'all want to give me Luke Combs money, I'll take it all day. Oh yeah. I don't know if it's a compliment without the money though, and the voice. I feel like I get the short end of the stick as far as just the looks, but I guess I'll take it.
Well, we appreciate that. Kat actually had another question. Well, I'll get to Kyle's real quick because his was first. I haven't heard Coach Carl's in-depth analysis on Ty yet. Don't know. I would just throw it out for either one of you guys if you had, and we'll go on to the next.
I did not.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
The lack of run game, knowing DeBoer and Grubb usually run their offense.
I mean, I will say it has been concerning. It was trending in the right direction. I've said this multiple times this week because it's been it's kind of been the talking point for Alabama fans. During the bye week, you don't really have an opponent to look forward to yet. Obviously, LSU just fired their coach, so there's a lot of unknowns on how they're going to respond. Or I guess worry about that next week. But kind of the talking point has been the lack of a run game. And, I mean, I thought it was trending in the right direction. I thought we saw some good things against Georgia. I thought it looked really good against Vanderbilt. I thought it looked good against Missouri. And then, of course, with that concussion and Jam Miller against Missouri, It was understandable why it didn't look great against Tennessee, even though Daniel Hill really started to get things going in the second half. But it was, what I will say about that is while I am very concerned about the run game, because overall it's been a season-long problem, and it almost feels like, based off of the fact that it looked really good against Vanderbilt and Missouri, seemed to take a little bit of a step back against Tennessee, and then seemed to take a massive step back against South Carolina. It kind of tells fans that it's going in the wrong direction. But I will say, Jam was the one with the hot hand, going into that Tennessee game, and he was able to play. Everybody was thinking it was a massive deal that he was going to be available. And then he just, he wasn't the same guy. And it's understandable why he wouldn't be. For sure. But I think that's what led to some of the struggles in the first half. And they actually had more success in the second half. So while there were struggles against Tennessee, I think it's understandable why in the first half. Then you take this game and you say, well, Alabama, Ty Simpson was off. He hadn't been off all year. Yeah. The wide receivers, just about everybody that's a pass catcher, seemed to drop a football on Saturday. So they seem to be off a little bit. In some ways, I would say early on, the play calling was off. And, the defense wasn't really tackling. Like, it just felt like a little bit of an uncharacteristic game for everybody involved. And yet a lot of people on a day like that, they wanted to see some signs of life. And it's like, well, the run game has already been very finicky and very inconsistent as it is. On a day in which everything seems to be not going right, it would make sense for that to be the most glaring issue. I'm not saying that, oh, don't worry about it, it's fine, I promise. But what I am saying is that I would really like to see it against LSU to see if you're getting more of where it had been trending prior to the South Carolina game, or is it more of the same? If it is, especially after the bye week, it is time to hit the panic button, because a run game is critical to the success of your team, especially as you start getting into what's going to be a pretty tough stretch, and then potentially the SEC championship and college football playoff if they're able to make it there. They're going to need a run game. But I just think right now I'm not going to panic on it too much just yet, because I still think there's some justifiable reasons why.
Yeah, I got it. And we got another question, but I want to say hello to a couple people. What's up, Sadie? We'll get you at the 30-minute mark. What's up, Van Edwards, man? Good to see you, Van. Appreciate you. Final whistle, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Central.
Yes.
Appreciate you, man. And Randy said he always gets Zach Brown.
That's a better one.
I get some of the worst ones, so we won't go into that. What's the most damning problem, the O-line or the running backs?
Offensive line for me. When you're looking at it on tape, and granted, I've said this, I feel like Jam at times, he could probably press a little bit more. I think he's trying to be patient. He's trying to give his blocks time to get set up, and at times that's very beneficial. In other instances, it's like, man, there was a crease there. You needed to just take the football and hit it. And so I think just getting a feel for that a little bit better would help him. But overall, when I'm watching, and it's never the same guy, that's the problem, is if you were watching and it was one problem, then you could work around that problem, or you could replace that player. You could do something to get it fixed. But for one reason or another, it's just, sometimes it'll be left guard, sometimes it'll be center, sometimes right guard, sometimes right tackle. On the rare occasion, that's one thing Caden Proctor does extremely well. But on the rare occasion, it's the left tackle, it's the tight ends. I think they're involved in this conversation as far as the off tackle blocking. So that's been the biggest issue. When it is so widespread like that, I love Coach Cap to death. I think he's a great dude. And if I wanted any coach to be successful at Alabama, he would certainly be at or near the top of the list. And I've said that already this week on multiple occasions. But when you see it that big of a problem across multiple people, and I guess when you include the tight ends, maybe it's not Coach Cap's fault. But to me, it starts coming down to coaching. You got to start questioning it, because there's nothing else that I see on tape where it's like, why are they struggling this much? Georgia had the same problem last year, so even the great Kirby Smart, his team, it was a problem for them last year, but in a lot of ways, it prevented Georgia from getting where they were trying to go last year. I don't want to see it be what keeps Alabama from getting where it is capable of getting to if they don't get it fixed. So one way or another, I think Jaden Roberts was a big part of. I thought he played really well on Saturday. Right. And I think that he'll continue. I saw your
retraction about him too, as well. By the way,
100%. And that was so fair, because and I already said this, but I'll reiterate it here. When I'm watching, I come away with this idea of, man, I think, okay, Cam Dewberry missed that block. Oh, Parker Brailsford missed that one. And as I'm going through, I just group everything into an interior offensive line. A lot of the runs problems, in my opinion, was the interior, some on the right side, even some on the left side as well. But mostly I thought the interior run blocking was poor. But then when I actually specifically went and just watched Jaden Roberts, I'm like, man, he was not – did he get beat? Yes. Any game, anybody – I mean, I don't care how good you are. There's going to be reps where you lose.
Yeah.
No one's batting 1,000. But he did as well as you possibly could have asked, whether it be from a pass protection standpoint or a run blocking standpoint. So, first of all, I appreciated getting called out about that because that is something that he should not have been grouped into that. But not only that, it made me encouraged because I'm like, that's been kind of a problem area. You know, it's been left guard, it's been right guard, and it's been right tackle. If you can get a solution at right guard, it is at least a step in the right direction because I don't think you're getting that poor of a run blocking performance from Parker Brailsford or Caden Proctor consistently. Yeah. Those were outlier performances, in my opinion. That's 3 of your 5 offensive linemen. Now it's left guard and it's right tackle, and you've got potential solutions there. So, I mean, it's all about piecing it and, you know, trying to put it together as we work our way through the season.
Mm-hmm. And Kyle, what are we overdoing the crispy package? And I do have a follow-up as far as the Proctor stuff because you said something interesting. I saw one of the posts about him as well, and it reminds me of a conversation we had with Stephen M. Smith about Evan Neal and the move to guard instead. So first, do you think we're over the crispy package? And B, do you think that's going to be a viable move for him, you know, in the NFL? I saw where you said, yeah, he should stay, but he's going. Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. But the crispy pack, I mean, I don't think you've seen the end of it. I really don't. But at the same time, I guess it just all depends. His play right now, you talk about comparing it to Evan Neal. I wish Evan would have stuck at guard. You know, I thought he was a good college tackle. I thought he was pretty good on the right side. I thought he was fine on the left side for Alabama. A lot of athleticism. I mean, NFL's edge speed's just different. SEC edge speed is different than the rest of college football, in my opinion, at least for the most part. But it is an even bigger jump against, NFL pass rushers. And so you never know exactly how these guys are going to translate. But if he would have stuck at guard, I think he'd be in a much better position now because I still think he's got the talent to be an effective guard. That's kind of why I'm like, Caden, I know you want to play tackle and you've got crazy length. I mean, you're a big, tall dude, but just the limitations that you have, even if you dropped to 330 or 335, which I think if you asked him to go below that with his frame, I just don't think he's going to be able to consistently get there. So I think, somewhere between 330 and 340, it would be better. Take another 15 pounds, 20 pounds off of him, 25 maybe. Right. That would certainly help, but I still think he's going to have limitations as far as pass blocking and working out in space. If you could go ahead and get him to move to guard now and return to Alabama, because he wouldn't do that this year. They wouldn't have anybody to replace him. But if next year, like Jackson Lloyd was ready and Caden Proctor was willing to return and you could kick him inside the left guard, I think you'd be getting an all-American caliber guard and a guy who could potentially, I understand interior guys aren't valued as highly as tackles, but I still think he could help himself from an NFL standpoint because right now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I've seen this 1,000 times. NFL teams are going to look at his limitations and pretty much say this guy can't help us, not at tackle. Yeah. So he's going to make that move to guard. You can come back to Alabama, get a nice little paycheck, maybe solidify yourself as a first-round talent in 2026 and make yourself a little bit more money, or you can go out this year and they don't even know what you would be at guard. Some team would probably draft you to play guard, but they probably wouldn't do it until not later, but second round, second round probably. I don't think he dropped to the third. But I think that from a money-making standpoint and a career standpoint, it would probably do him good. But I'm with you. I think, as much as I think that would be the wise business decision for him, I don't think that's going to happen because there's going to be a lot of pressure for him to move on to the NFL.
Regarding – go ahead, Herb. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think the money's at tackle, and I think that's part of what the point's going to be because I do agree with you that it's like the short-term money's at tackle, the long-term money for him is at guard. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Great point. Yes.
Regarding the O-line, what are your thoughts on Michael Carroll to this point?
It was strange seeing the regression as far as playing time. Like he was clearly trending after the first bye week. Georgie starts playing. You're seeing him a little bit more each and every week. They're trying to as soon as you see them moving Wilkin Formby, that kind of tells you we don't see him as our right tackle when you're talking about 2-3 weeks down the road. Michael's taking that over, is, Wilkin the best option we have at right guard. I think that's why you start to see that. But with the way things have played out, and I think it's missed assignments. He's a freshman. He really wants to do well. He's super competitive, and I have no doubt he's going to continue to put his head down and go to work, and he's going to get things right eventually. But I think there's been some missed assignments. He was kind of, if I had to guess, with the way he was pretty quickly pulled against Tennessee, it felt like that it was probably a mistake that he had made already, maybe even multiple times. Because, it seemed to just on a, dime, just completely changed for him. And then this past week, he played a little bit, but it was mostly Wilkin Formby. Now, granted, Formby played well against Tennessee. Maybe that had something to do with it. It's a performance-based offense for everybody involved. But at the same time, Michael, I still think it's inevitable at some point. He's got a mauling mentality. Physically, he's new to playing tackle. He didn't play on the high school level, but there's too much talent physically at this point, and Alabama could really use more of a long-term solution at right tackle, and maybe that ends up being Formby, but I just think at this point his limitations athletically are kind of like Caden Proctor, where it's like your best bet is probably to move to guard. Don't know if he seems willing to do that, and I still think there will be limitations there as well, but that might be something that has to happen during the offseason where he's got some time to acclimate a little bit.
Acclimate to that one.
Yeah. Makes sense. That makes sense.
Let's get one more question from the crowd. I know we got to let you get out of here in just a second. A first round pick other than Ty?
Oh man, I think with the way LT's been playing, he's probably a day 2 guy. Tim Keenan, as much as I love him, just his skill set, not enough of a pass rusher to go day 1. Damani's played himself out of first round consideration.
And that's been hard to watch too.
Yeah.
It's been rough, and part of that is Dijon, because I think Damani, if he didn't have Dijon there, Alabama would they'd let him play through it. Yeah, they kind of, but I mean, when you've got a talented freshman who you're really trying to get on the field, even if it's a guy who's kind of established like Damani, it's like, brother, if you're not ready, if you're not doing it, we're just going to turn to this guy because we're already trying to figure out how to get him on the field. And he's going through some growing pains, but there's been substantial improvement there, and especially from a physicality standpoint and a willingness to mix things up as far as coming downhill on screens, mixing things up against the run. So, that's unfortunate, but Keon Sabb's not a first round guy. Jeremy is interesting because I don't think he's the style of player that would typically go first round. He feels like a guy who is going to be a second round draft pick based off of, he's not going to be a height, weight, speed guy that just wows NFL evaluators.
Just a Mr. Steady kind of guy.
Yes. Yeah. But he's going to be a guy who gets drafted in the second round, maybe the third, but I think second. And then he's going to play in the NFL for 12 plus years. Just be a very reliable. Yeah, it's just you see that kind of thing all the time. But like the AJ Browns of the world, like he fell to the second round, mostly because while he was a very productive, very good receiver, just from a height, weight, speed, like being just a physical specimen, very thick, very running back build. You think of Deebo Samuel, you think a lot of these guys that do some of the things that Jeremy does, they typically fall to day 2, so probably wouldn't put him there. Caden right now, I can't put him as a first round pick. So at this point, I guess I would probably say no, which is pretty crazy to think about. But I think they got a lot of future first round picks that just aren't draft eligible, and so that certainly, and it could be a situation where Alabama can really benefit from that. If James Smith, who has first round potential, if he doesn't play himself into first round consideration, but he elects to come back next year, that's going to really help Alabama's defensive front with the guy who could have left, kind of in a way like some of these guys who chose to come back this year. But I would probably say Ty right now is the only sure thing they got going in the first round.
Yeah. And I think that the good thing is you have a lot of opportunities, so some guys will play themselves into that. So want to say what's up to Brinsky real quick. We appreciate you, man.
Shout out to Brinsky and the sharpshooters.
So Clint, I know we have to get you out of here. I've got one question for you, and it's not as tough. You don't have to pick between HerbnRodg this time. We'll let it go a little easier this time. We like to play a game called and Jay Bake said hello to you. Last name Lamb, but definitely
shout out to Jay Bake.
Sure.
Appreciate that.
For sure. We play work, play, live, ditch. Give you 4 names. One of them you're going to work with 40 hours a week. One of them you'll live with. That'll be your roommate. One of them you'll play that's going out on Friday nights, having fun. And I know you guys are fathers, so you'll probably be in by 9, but still, you can go out and then one, when they call you, you got to ditch, send them the voicemail. We're doing Alabama quarterbacks: Ty Simpson, Jalen Milroe, Bryce Young, Mac Jones.
What a man. I don't even know where to start with the logic behind any of it. I mean,
just think it's easier to think about who you would ditch and go from there. That's how I always take a look at it. Who would I ditch?
Ditch and play get the best two.
I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait for this to go viral on social media. They're just going to clip that one part. I would totally ditch X player.
Yes. Yes. Pretty much. You know how we work.
Can I insert Jackson Arnold there and then just
no Alabama quarterbacks? That's the easy one.
What about like Blake Barnett? Can we? I mean, that at one time, right? Man, ditch. Who would I ditch out of those? I don't know. I feel like I don't really know if any of them being partiers. So for like the Friday night thing, I don't know. Live with. I feel like Ty would be too much coach speak for me. I feel like
that'd be your work with. Then I
feel like Bryce would be super chill to live with. Like he would just he'd be like one of those roommates that's just like, do your thing, brother. Like I'm not gonna. No controversy. Yeah. Like if he's got a problem that you're doing something wrong, he's going to like approach you the right way. His dad was a psychologist or is a psychologist. So it's like, I mean, he's going to take the right approach. And if you're spending 40 hours a week from a work perspective, he would be great there as well. But I'd probably say, so Ty.
It's a tough one.
This might be the toughest thing. Like, are y'all going to answer this? Is this left to me to answer? Is this like?
Yes, it's just for the guests. Yeah. You go.
Man,
I can give you some answers, but people care what you think, Clint. They're like, yeah, we hear HerbnRodg all the time.
Oh man, someone said they're ditching Bryce. Cat Pool said ditching Bryce sadly because he's so damn quiet. I mean, I got to be honest though. I like a quiet roommate. Yeah, I mean, this dude's not going to bother me at all. Like it's going to be like I don't have a roommate, and that's pretty awesome. I'm kind of thinking.
I'll give you a blueprint.
So he will live with Bryce, play with Miller. He's ditching Mac.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, and the play with Milroe
makes sense. You got to pull the trigger.
Okay, all right. So I like the play with Milroe. That makes a lot of sense.
Keith?
Think he'd be a fun guy, and he could create a nice little vibe and party. You know, he's got a lot of respect in the locker room. Work. So it's either Ty or Mac. I'd rather go Mac, to be honest. I love Ty. I think he's great, but I think the coach speak and stuff all the time, it would cause some problems. Like sometimes I just want to be in a bad mood, Mac. Sometimes it's Monday and I'm here at 7:30 in the morning, and I don't really need you rah-rahing me around. So I think Mac would get it. I think Mac would be right there with me, just complaining about everything. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna cut. I guess I'm gonna ditch Ty.
Wow!
I can't believe that y'all made me do that, but I will give y'all credit. Out of all the people that bring me on their shows and stuff, y'all do the best job of making me uncomfortable, but in a very creative, fun way. Like it's not a bad. It's not like I get off and I'm like, man, I hate those guys for asking that. It's I get off and I'm like, I'll be going to bed here in about 20 minutes and I'll still be thinking about that question. But man, I don't know, man. I might go. So I'll hit y'all up if I change my answer. But that's
no problem. But as of right now, we just have to do a clip where you said, "Yeah, I guess I have to ditch Ty," and that's
yes.
Like, what was the context? What?
Yeah, that's where I start. Man, I have people coming out of the woodworks. Man, I have bosses calling me at 9 p.m. at night.
Well, we appreciate you, man.
Absolutely appreciate you.
I know we held you a little longer, man. We appreciate you rolling with us tonight, man. Tell everybody, what you got coming up next, where we can find you, as if everybody already knows, but we still got to give the opportunity at the end.
Yeah, you can find me Cover Crimson on YouTube. Got our own channel over there, daily show that we do. Have a lot of fun over there. Also, you can find me on Twitter at Clint Lamb. But if you listen to podcasts, we're trying to grow that, and I'm trying to mention that everywhere that we're at, because a lot of people don't like the YouTube and watching. Some people just like listening. And if you are that way, Cover Crimson Podcast Network is what you can search, Apple, Spotify. Make sure you put in that podcast network, though, or the wrong feed an old feed will come up. But, guys, I appreciate y'all having me on. This has been a lot of fun. It's always fun, and we'll definitely have to do this again soon.
Of course,
yes,
of course,
man.
Man. We appreciate you.
Man. You have a good night, man.
Absolutely, guys. See you guys.
All right.
All right. We apologize for the last couple people that we missed in there. We did say T-Town Media. I don't know if I put it up on the screen, but appreciate you jumping in. I like that one, Randy. I didn't want to laugh, but he's like, "Let's go make a call." I was like,
"Which one?" Oh yeah.
When he said that, I was like, "Carol, congrats to you and the man. Glad that is still moving on."
Oh yeah.
And these are the last people that said, "Can't ditch the Joker." I'm ditching Mac Jones. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Kimberly, no problem. Late, better late
thank you for joining us.
We appreciate you stopping by. Kat says she's not that kind of person, so. Mac Jones, Freshwater. Yeah.
T-Town Moody, thank you for joining us, Mac Jones.
And I know, and we said hello to Keith, but appreciate you being in there. Sadie, if you're still here, we're ready to play yours. So I don't know if you had popped in and out or whatever. Nah, Kimberly, we appreciate it, man. Look, you guys just don't know. We do always plan a whole show, but we love when we can get comments and interact with you guys better. It kind of makes her a more fun show. So. Try to post the excellence to y'all names. YouTube wouldn't let the comments go through. He said it'll be a winch. I mean a wrench. X-links to y'all's names. Oh, yeah, maybe it is I don't know. We'll check a look at that later. So I'll text Sadie in a minute to see what she has to say. But always appreciation, Clint. So I don't know if he's still here either, but this was a question that Nick Beasley actually asked in the middle, but it wasn't on that one. So. And Nick, our parents actually went to Norfolk State.
Yes, they're both Norfolk State alumni, so we have to go for Norfolk State. Yep.
Yes, we have to go for Norfolk State. So sorry.
Sadie is in the building.
She is back in the building.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree, Keith, and we'll cover that in just a minute. But we have to give one of the stars of our show their due.
Well, good morning, guys. We won. I can't believe it. We won a game in spite of the offense. The defense said, forget y'all. We're just going to take it into our own hands, and they did. Pleasant was amazing. 2 interceptions in the fourth. Atkins, he's a beast, our linebacker. I can't say more great things about the defense. They've struggled a little bit in the first half, but Arkansas is a great offense. So, so offense still is the problem. Thank God Jackson Arnold got benched. He better not start this weekend. Ashton Daniels was fine, but he's better than Jackson Arnold. Like, the offense played much better, in my opinion, all around. They just felt like it was like a new energy in the building. So we play Kentucky this week. Kentucky's pretty bad. They're the worst in the league. They do not know how to stop the run, so just give the ball to Cobb. Cobb is the guy. He should get 20-plus carries. End of the story. Hopefully I'm able to come back on here with another W next week. But, Hugh survives somehow. I mean, he still should be fired. He is the problem. The offense is the problem. Hearing different things about being fired on the bye week after we lose to Navy, because, that's going to happen. But anyway, I'm just glad I can talk about a win for once. And hopefully I can talk about another one next week. War Eagle, guys.
Shout out to Sadie. Everybody waits for Sadie's video just so they can comment on her driving and talking. That's it.
Yes. Yeah. And she's never malapuff. She's always got good energy no matter what is going on. So we appreciate
She's never what? She's never what?
Malapuff.
Okay.
I almost said it in a Scottish malapuff, but I don't know how to do Scottish. I don't know what that was. My accents are not great. So and Jay Bake has to have missed it because he didn't say anything yet about that. So Keith had said this right before the break. Bama needs to finish on, and Emily's following up with Alabama, Texas A&M. Especially with the uncertainty with the teams ahead of us, man. That we're about to play. LSU fired coach. I have no idea. Harold Perkins already said, I'm not playing anymore. So that's going to be interesting what state they're in when they get there. Oklahoma, people don't think John Tears, right?
I missed that one about Harold Perkins. I saw something about it on social media, but is that like confirmed? Is
it real or not?
Yeah.
Let me see.
I saw something about it, but I thought it was like I didn't know if there was True or not?
Oh, maybe not. Maybe they're just maybe it's one of the. Well, no, I mean, oh no, I'm sorry. I recognize this site, so never mind. Carol Perkins might be out there. They just said he fell off, so yeah, never mind.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Auburn might have waited. Yeah, I think. I guess maybe it's the buyout, or just not wanting to pay money to so many fired coaches. But I mean, it's well past time. So.
And I always find it interesting, like if it is the buyout, I kind of feel like if you're leaning towards firing the coach, like prolonging it might not always be the best idea. Like you save a few dollars, but I mean, if you're trying to save your season, then do what you got to do.
That's why I love JB. Yeah. I agree, Rodg, too, and start looking at the thing for next year.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question. That's towards you, Sadie. So if you see it and want to post about it, it's directed towards you. So our favorite Barner. Yep. Where's Bo? Bo should argue with this, but Sadie. Well, no, I'm sorry. Sadie picked Rodg over Herb. So Sadie is Rodg's favorite Barner.
Yeah, and then Sadie picked me over you, but then she wasn't there last time I came to Birmingham. I couldn't believe it. She went to a football game. Wow.
Yeah. Are you still a little bitter about that, Rodg?
Very, very bitter. I thought Sadie and I were like this, but yeah.
And yeah, I didn't realize that was the only one where we saw it at Cat. So that was definitely on me for sure. Where did it go wrong? And she married a sort of Bama fan. So let's see. And that kind of goes along with Randy. So okay. What's up, J-Babe? We appreciate you there. So John Sumrall's who she wants. I guess to Randy's point, do you think you can get him? I guess that's the big thing. So, all right, as we take a look every week, even though it's kind of meaningless, we are in the AP poll. But I mean, it's kind of like people have already put in the thing when the games are ahead of you.
Yeah.
So that's really it. So, Raj, I'm gonna send you a message.
And then the first CFP rankings come out this Tuesday, right? November 4th, I believe. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where they have everybody, especially Notre Dame's a team that I bring up from time to time. So that'll be interesting.
And that's interesting too. If the rankings are next to, so we've been trying to put together something with our guy Bama Beat to get his grades. So if we can find an LSU person for next Wednesday, we'll see. We might do a special next Tuesday with the CFP rankings and Bama Beat's grades.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Either we'll do it on Wednesday, but we'll figure it out.
Put those ideas on my desk and I'll approve them and I'll let you know.
Wow. How do I get to your desk?
I'm not telling you that. You should know that by now.
It's sad the kind of crap we say while trying to cover that we're doing some behind the scenes stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, Cam. This is weird because it is a stress-free weekend, but then I'm also kind of like missing us not playing. So it's kind of a weird weekend, but
yes. And this goes to this direct question. The routine is off because Saturday I'll kind of get up. I'll still watch a bunch of games or whatever. But yeah, the stress, the anxiety is not there. I mean, this last game was tough. I was at a birthday party and we left at halftime, but some Bama, it was at an Auburn person's house, but they still put the game on, but you can't cheer like normal. Then we were going to, we're leaving and the game just looks terrible. And then we got invited to a Bama person's house to watch the second half. I said, no, I'm going home. Like I got to changing clothes. I got to have my alcohol. And if you have any kids, you don't want them to hear this part, but I'm sitting there watching the end of the game. I got on socks, underwear, and a hat. I'm drinking, taking shots, trying to get through the whole second half. That's what I was left in. So that's fine, Rod. Might just make you answer Clint's question since he said he asked us if we were going to answer it. Yep.
I'm fine with it.
You think Texas A&M will be number one? What is their best win? Because Indiana did beat Oregon, and they held that one pretty highly. So that's the only one thing I would say.
So let me ask you this. With that being said, is the LSU win a good win?
I don't know anymore. They dropped out of the top 25. They fired their coach. Who do they play this weekend? Oh, no, they're off too this weekend.
They're off. Yeah, they're
off this weekend too. So, Enrique, always good to see you, man.
Hold on. A&M's best win is Notre Dame. Remember that game? That was early on in the season.
Was that game 1 or game 2? Right. Notre Dame started with Miami and Texas A&M. So
So that was game 3 for A&M, and they won 41-40. After that, they beat Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida, Arkansas. So those Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida games prior to the season, they probably looked like tough games. But then when you look at where everybody is right now, they're not going to rank so high. So with that being with that being said, A&M's best win is probably that Notre Dame game.
Yeah. Oh, wow, I missed a lot in here, right? For the first time, can breathe. And Notre Dame is the spoiled child. They absolutely are. You lost your 2 best. Is USC still ranked?
Yeah, they're in the 20s, right?
23. Yeah.
Well, that's why I mentioned the rankings coming up Tuesday. It'll be interesting to see if Notre Dame is still sitting at that 11-12 spot, because I mean, obviously for them, I mean, as long as they win the rest of their games, it's kind of looking like they're going to squeeze in towards the end, And we've had discussions on that and how we feel about that, but with them, it's like you can lose your 2 good games and then win the rest, you're okay.
Yeah. So this is an interesting one because Ohio State's best win is now Texas, who doesn't look good, especially if Mississippi State would have freaking held on. Indiana has the better win on the road at Oregon. And A&M beat Notre Dame. So do you think have the better one in there? But
do you think Indiana should be 1 then?
If I was looking at this the way this is, I'd have Indiana 1 and Texas A&M 2.
And then Ohio State? Okay.
Yeah, and then they haven't done anything outside of and that's not to say that's like, I guess if you're trying to go by eye test and you think Ohio State great, that's fine.
Right.
But as far as playing actual teams, it hasn't been anything since Texas, and that was nothing to write home about. So
that's true.
Going to be Florida. Yeah. I think Florida keeps it close for like the very beginning, but that defense gets worn down, and I think you're probably going to see 2 or 3 picks, I guess, from Lagway. So who's Texas? Oh, Texas on Vandy, right?
Yeah, they are at. Is it at? No, it's in Austin. It's at home, but they host Vanderbilt. That's going to be an interesting one, and I think that's an 11 a.m. game too. Let me see. Yeah, that's an 11 a.m. game.
Yeah, but Cat, they didn't even start off the season at number 1 though, with the reigning champs thing. So that's why I think I wouldn't be shocked. That's all I'll say about it.
So to Kim's question,
for us, Kim, all we got to do is keep winning.
Yeah.
So
I think
I don't really worry about it.
I think, coming into Tuesday, I think we'll be at the 4 spot. I don't see why we'd be down because our resume is impressive as far as our wins and the strength of schedule. So that's what's going to keep us in the top tier team. So I think we'll slide at number 4. And then obviously if we keep winning and win the SEC championship, we're going to get that first round bye that we would love to have.
20 feet up a tree this weekend. I will not be joining you.
Yeah.
But good luck to you, brother. So.
Yeah.
And looking at what you had for that 5, can we start sending in fan videos now? Well, she's an Auburn fan, but if you want to start sending us in videos with your score predictions, or if you ever see us on a Saturday night, you want to jump in with us, just send us.
Let us know, man.
So, either one. I said deer hunting. Got it. I totally missed that reference.
What did you think he was doing? Building a treehouse or something?
I mean, not 20 feet up, but maybe. I mean, I don't know. In my mind, 20 feet up was like 40 feet up.
when Keith said first 20 feet up, do you remember seeing? I'm not sure if you ever watched those logger guys on ESPN where they like kind of put the wood into the tree and they got to climb it. That's kind of what I was thinking about, but I don't know. My mind just kind of floated off. So.
Yeah. Oh, do you want? I thought he was talking about the bye week period. Do you want that bye?
First round bye. Yeah, because if our team's a little banged up towards the end of the season, I would like to have the first round bye. I know it didn't work out well last year for a lot of the teams for obvious reasons, but I'm fine with taking the bye because I think our team's going to be ready to perform when we do play. So,
yeah, it's an interesting question. They say it every year for the NFL, the rust versus rest thing, and now they only have 1 bye for the NFL. So.
Yeah,
it's like you said, we have a 1-year sample, and it was terrible for everybody got to buy. So
yeah,
I do want that one, Kat. I would love to have that. If they gave us a choice, if they were like, you can play next week and have a home game, or you can just sit out, I'd like take the home playoff game.
Home game?
Look, Sadie, only.
Oh, okay.
Well, Van said he'll just jump on at some point instead. So that's true. That is true. If you ever have a chance to win that SEC championship, you got to go for it. So.
Yeah. Well, these
We'll see
next
how
few
that
weeks
all
are
works
going to
out.
get really, really interesting, So,
Yep. Honestly, the way I look at these next 4 games, if you were going to lose one, you can probably only afford to lose to Oklahoma. And as far as like
yes, because
arguments
they're
and
ranked.
stuff like that.
Yeah, because
Yep.
I told you this. I don't want the committee looking at us 10-2 and saying we have 2 really, really bad losses. So you lose to
Right.
LSU, they're unranked. You lose to Auburn, they're unranked. That's going to be pretty bad. So if we lose to OU, you have to live with that and then go in and win the rest of the game. So
yeah, but really, you just can't afford to lose any of them. You just need to win all 4 of these games. Yeah, and if you lose to Eastern Illinois, they'll just kick you out the league. So that doesn't.
If we lose to Eastern Illinois, we're not going anywhere. I don't care what the difference 10-2. Yeah, that's it.
Start making plans for the Tax Slayer Bowl or the Birmingham Bowl.
So question: Does DeBoer wear his black hoodie for the Eastern Illinois game?
Absolutely, yeah, because you just got to keep the mojo going. I don't think he takes it off for anything these days. He's probably showers in it.
I think Eastern Illinois would find it disrespectful if he didn't wear it.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
That is true.
Yeah.
Sadie, I didn't even. So how come both of us can pull up comments, but I'm the one that ignored her? That's not fair.
Because you're the moderator, man. What was her Iron Bowl? Oh, she
said Herb and I are watching the Iron Bowl together.
Is that true?
We absolutely are. Brittany is trying to invite Auburn people over for the Iron Bowl, but here's what she says: all the Auburn people can be upstairs watching on TV, and then the Bama people can be downstairs.
No,
I said, what's the whole point of asking anybody?
Y'all need to be in the same room, in the same area together, and try to film the whole thing. Try to record the whole thing.
Okay, so yeah, Sadie, if you come over and we watch the game together, you're going to be on the live stream for the entire game.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying.
For that, and yes, absolutely, that's their chance to write the whole season. So I already think so.
Yeah.
Superstition, dude. I'm superstitious. We all have our own little thing. So
yeah,
that's fine. You and Brittany can be here watching the game. I will go over to Mike's down the street, or I'll watch it in my car. That's fine.
You would not watch that in your car.
I didn't invite any Auburn people over. If you guys don't understand, if you guys come over. The last time Auburn people came over for a game, it was the Iron Bowl of basketball, the first one, and we lost.
Yep.
I'm good now. I don't want to. Look, Rodg and I have already been banned from going to road games. I don't want to be banned from watching games in my own house.
But we're gonna go. We're probably gonna go to the Ohio State game, 2027, right, Herb? That means yes. Whenever Herb does that smirk, it means a yes. We're gonna try to go to that one. That would be awesome.
See, I know people just sat up drunk Sadie on a podcast. Now we have 2 computers, so we can put a stream upstairs for the Auburn people and a stream downstairs for the Bama people. So.
Herb, just out of curiosity,
is drunk quick and sober quick though, so she'll be drunk in the first quarter and sober in the third. So it's really weird.
People in the chat want to know, how many TVs do you have at your house? Herb, I asked you a question. I'm trying to think.
1, 2, 3. No, I mean there's 4 downstairs.
Counting the one in the garage.
Yeah, 1 in the garage, 1 in the workout room, and 2 right in front of me right now.
You have a workout room in your house? Wow.
Well, clearly I don't use it, but
this podcast money is really getting to somebody because I'm not seeing a dollar of it.
All the workout stuff is collecting dust, but clearly this body is it's not working out. Oh. I get very oblacious. No, that's not it. We're subtracting. Oh, I already used my word, malapuff. That's how I am when I'm home.
I wanted to use that one that you just said, but I have no idea how to pronounce it, so I'm just going to pass it. Wait till next week.
It's oblacious, but yeah, we'll
oblacious
carry over a bunch.
Okay.
Sadie says she's going to watch outside, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 upstairs. So bathroom, TV, for the win. That's where I bring my phone, cat. But yes, that would be great. Let's take a look real quick at the 5-pack. Everybody else can kind of weigh in on what these games are. This is Mike's 5-pack. Rodg and I will be posting on Twitter and YouTube this weekend.
Are you going first this week?
I'm going first this week.
All right.
So,
all right.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what Keith's comment was. I have to. Keith, that's how I am. That's how I am. I'd rather be in there alone. My wife is the one inviting people over, but her and Sadie are good friends, and then Sadie and Rodg apparently are good friends. So these people will make the decisions for me. And yeah, Kyle's the same way. I think a bunch of people are the same way. Rodg and I will talk during the games, but Nick tried to call me during the game. I didn't answer. He had to learn that.
Herb and I talk before the game, at a halftime, and then after the game, but not not while the game is actually going on. I can't do that.
Yeah, my mom, and I had to tell Nick, like, my mom doesn't even call me during games. She knows, like, the closest she ever got was she called me 30 minutes before a game, and she said, "Hey, it's 30 minutes before the game," so I thought I was still safe. So yeah, because you guys won, and because we had plenty of alcohol, right? So I feel like it's going to happen. We'll say, like I said, if you guys come over for the game, we're putting it on a live stream. So the Iron Bowl of basketball at Barbie. Yep. All right. So the games for this weekend that we will be picking, we won't pick them live, but anybody else, so can throw out yours. Vandy, did you think before this year started, even with Vandy being Vandy, or being better, I never thought this would be like a 1.5 point spread, Vandy.
Right.
And now no Manning for this game, right?
Is he out? Oh, I know he got hurt last game, but under was it concussion protocol?
Yeah. Which, by the way, concussion protocol goes however you want it to go. Basically,
that's why I said it, because now it's like, oh, he's case 1 or case 2 or whatever they call it. So it's just like it depends on. So he practices, but he's still in concussion protocol. So I don't know. That could be interesting.
I want to answer this one real quick. Randy, let me just go ahead and tell you, it's probably one of the most emotionally draining things like ever. The fact that you have to keep saying stuff, the fact that the camera's on you, you're really cognizant of it the entire time. It is like, I was more tired after doing a watch along than a regular show.
I'm telling you though, me, you, and the Powers brothers, the Ragsdale brothers and the Powers brothers at a streaming event could do some numbers. Just throwing it out there. Could do some numbers.
Yeah, we brought it on too. It just was like randomly said, I'm going to watch it. So, Sadie, I actually have it on the little TV right in front of me. I decided I'll start watching.
I'm not.
I'm rooting for Toronto.
You're rooting for Toronto?
I'm rooting for Toronto against the Dodgers. Even though last year I know who they're playing. The Dodgers against. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Arch is questionable. Like as a quarterback or for this game?
I think she meant for the game, but that was a lame joke.
Oh, Cat's so great, and we appreciate you always tuning in for him, Cat. So
no, Randy,
we cannot do that unless
that's what I meant, though. Room. That's what I meant. We would all be in the same vicinity, though. That's what I meant.
No, Keith, that is funny because that's when I started. You talking about the '94 strike, right? I was really into it that year, and then when they did that, I had stopped for a long time. So I don't really watch anything, but I pay attention during the World Series. So, Lady Alpha was laughing at how goofy you look, Rodg.
Thank you, Lady Alpha. I appreciate it.
So well, we appreciate you too, Kat. So I don't know. It sounds like Auburn's going to be the next watch party. So we'll see how that goes. Yep. All right, let's go. Oklahoma at Tennessee. I mean, this is the 2 lost teams. They're both kind of already eliminated from anything, but you don't want to slide any further. Beginning of this year, before the injury, you would have thought Mateer and Oklahoma would run over Tennessee. Now they're just barely trying to hold on.
He just hasn't been the same since his injury, but their defense, the OU's defense has been pretty stout in the SEC this year, so I'll give them that. I just don't know if that offense is going to be able to keep up with Aguilar and the Tennessee offense.
Yeah. South Carolina, USC at Nebraska.
I almost said South Carolina too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yep, NC State, the road teams, and then the Georgia and Florida.
Do you think Georgia Tech finishes the regular season undefeated?
I have to see the rest of theirs, but I feel like they just drop a game somewhere random.
You know who they play at the end. You know who the last game is against.
Okay, but so the last game, Randy has already predicted Georgia Tech wins that game, and he's been pretty spot on. Last year, he picked Ole Miss to beat Georgia, and that came true. This year, he said it was Alabama and Georgia Tech, so I might have to trust what he says and take Georgia Tech in that game. So we'll see. You do have some picks in here: Tennessee, USC, Georgia Tech. Yep. So, all right, that brings us to the end, folks. You want to do the challenge that Clint put out to us?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right. My answers for the challenge, I would probably work with Ty. Because the coach's mentality, I know what he's saying. You want to complain, but I think Ty would be the guy to actually be on time to work every day, have everything structured, get you home, everything. I'm probably gonna go out with Bryce because he's got to be the coolest of the whole bunch. Yeah, he might be quiet, but he looked cool. And then,
but what do you think Bryce does when he hangs out? Like, what is a nice hangout time for Bryce? What do you think?
He looks like out sipping wine somewhere. It's a nice Cabernet or something, and I'd be like, Bryce, pass me the whiskey and shut up.
Yeah, I can see Bryce getting like drunk off like one little glass of wine. Like, oh man, yeah. Like, okay, Bryce, okay, calm down.
Yeah. I'd probably live with Milroe then if this was the case, and I would have to ditch Mac.
You're ditching Mac Jones, the Mac Jones?
Yeah. Who? Mac Jones, just for the base of this, and I wanted my answers to be different. So my we say Florida with the upset. Sadie take up. Randy's gonna come at you.
Randy's coming for you.
Kimberly gave hers real quick. Vanderbilt, Tennessee, USC, Georgia Tech, and Georgia. Yep. He does. Kyle, I just wanted to be different with my answers. So Milroe, I think off the field would probably be pretty good. Go ahead, Rod. What you got? I'm
hanging out with Milroe. He's got. Just like Bryce, he's got the NFL money. He's got some connections. He knows some people. I think Milroe will be a nice time to hang out with. I'm probably going to work with Ty. What? Bryce will be the one of your group that makes it. Yeah. Oh, no, I can see Bryce. As you go to the bar, everybody gets a shot. His shot, it looks like Patron, but it's like water. And then he takes it. He's like, oh.
do like I did on the last show. He's taking shots of Powerade.
Yeah, exactly. Herb, and then Bryce looks at everybody like this. Yeah, he's like, okay, Bryce, whatever. I'm hanging out with Milroe. I'm going to work with Bryce Young. I'm going to live with Ty Simpson, and I honestly, I'll probably ditch Mac too. I'll probably ditch Mac Jones. Yeah,
poor Mac.
He seems like a cool guy. Probably a fun time, but I'll probably ditch Mac.
You're not allowed to say that. He seems like a cool guy, but I'm still getting rid of him. Like, okay.
Mac Jones, if you're watching, we love you, man.
I like that.
You're a Bama legend.
And now, Keith, I think that's 2 suggestions now of stuff we have to check out. So
I did not see that one. Thank you, Keith, for the reference. Yeah.
Yep. Thanks again to Clint for coming on the show.
Yes. That was huge.
A good time. Thank you to the chat. Like I said, you guys always help us get through the show. We appreciate it. Happy to be on a bye.
Yep.
We'll look for you guys next week. We're taking the whole weekend off. No videos.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Keep checking out the channel, man. I think we only need 2 to push us over there just to get to the next milestone of 600.
I just checked. So. Yeah, we're 2 away from that. So we'll hit that hopefully tomorrow or something. We shall see.
Appreciate you guys. Everybody have a great night. And as always,
roll tide.
Rolleth.